This week, coming up from the ashes.
I decided to go with the synopsis. I decided to go with that. I thought that might be the safer, less traumatizing route for everyone in this room.
Especially me.
Yeah, especially Phoenix.
Oh, such an innocent lad.
Yeah,
Hey, you know what?
yeah. Bless his heart.
You know what? Don't
Chicken
sugarcoat it. Bring it to me. Give it to me.
The
let's
whole 9 yards.
Good morning, everybody. Today is July 27th and Monday. And I am here. What?
Is it?
Is it what?
Is it the date you say it is?
Oh crap. Oh, daggone it. I'm over this. Okay, so we're no longer doing dates anymore, guys. I'm just telling you, I'm over this.
I mean, I haven't been on a date in a long time, so I kind of stopped doing dates a long time ago.
The jig is up. We pre-record before we put them on.
Shockers.
Yes, the jig is up. I apologize. So no more dates after this podcast, and I even got that wrong. So anyways, today we are here to do a podcast about a certain topic, and joining me today is, as always, is my co-host Arson. How you doing, Arson?
I'm still reeling from the fact that now that we're cutting the time and date, that means we get less time added onto the podcast. So now we gotta come up with an excuse to add more time onto the podcast to make up for the time we now just lost from cutting the date from the intro.
I think he just did that.
Exactly. You're welcome.
Also joining us is Amanda, and we're kind of mixed matching the groups today. We got Amanda and Zhombi. How you guys doing?
Peachy.
Peachy. Well,
How do you feel like a freak?
I don't know.
Like, I mean, I'm always one of the people say, "Oh, I'm peachy." Like that. I mean, I know what a peach feels like, but I've never been like, you know what? I feel like a peach.
That's
Feeling
valid.
fruity?
Feeling a bit fruity today.
But I mean, that would be like, how are you feeling? Fruit salad, because that would be fruity because there's more than one.
Interesting. I feel a topic coming up.
Write it down.
Write that down. Okay. So speaking of topics, today's topic is all about Amanda. Say it ain't so. You know, we're centering this around Amanda today. So I may be your host, but she's going to be doing the majority of the talking. We're just going to be sitting back and listening to and I'm going to say it. I choose my cussing like very, very proportionally and wisely. The shit show. And this is what it's going to be. So the topic is Amanda's haunting book choices. Now, before we begin, I literally looked at this when we first started, and I was thinking that, oh, that's cool. You know, let's talk about the books that she likes that are horror books, haunting, But then I read between the lines and realized, no, this is a mistake.
You have made a mistake. Yes, you have.
So, all right. I don't know what else to say, so I'm just going to turn it over to Amanda.
And you have nearly no knowledge of what to expect you have very minimal knowledge on what to expect here, which is great. I love it.
That's true. I do have some knowledge of your books, but you got to realize, let's preface this by saying Amanda has like 1 billion books.
This is true.
She has a book fetish, and that is the absolute truth.
This is true. This is true. This is so true.
I've been to her house. I've seen her books, or at least some of them.
This is true. This is true.
So
that doesn't even include my Kindle library.
Exactly, and that thing, she had to add an extension onto that. Put an extra video or memory card in there just to.
No, I just bought a new Kindle. It's fine.
I was kidding, but okay. All right, so here we go. The Amanda Shit Show, take 1.
Yes. So my content warning will be: don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
100%.
I'm going to preface with that.
What's the meaning of life and everything?
Well, I don't have the answer to that. But anyway.
42.
So, I will... Oh, God.
I mean, come on.
I was gonna say it, but I was trying not to.
Yell too much.
All right, go ahead.
So, I will also say that I am a primarily romance reader. So this is already going to tell you where this is going. So for those that are my book talk friends, they're on the book talk. They're on the book side of TikTok. They know already the first book that I'm going to talk about based on the title of this episode. So the first book series universe that I'm going to talk about is the cat and mouse duet. So when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about with these books, I was like, do I read the trigger warnings, the content warning pages? Do I read highlights I've made in these books? Do I just read the synopsis? I had a lot of options here. I had free reign. I decided to go with the synopsis. I decided to go with that. I thought that might be the safer, less traumatizing route for everyone in this room.
Especially me.
Yeah, especially Phoenix.
Oh, such an innocent lad.
Yeah,
hey, you know what?
Yeah. Bless his heart.
You know what? Don't
Chicken
sugarcoat it. Bring it to me. Give it to me.
The whole 9 yards.
I've only prepared the synopsis, so I'm not prepared with any of these other pieces. So
see, I tried.
You did try. So the first book that I'm going to talk about is Haunting Adeline and Hunting Adeline, and the two books that are part of this universe. So this universe is a dark romance book. They are dark romance. It's fantastic. I love every second of it. So Haunting Adeline. Here's your summary of the book as provided by the author.
Hold on. Can I
Oh God. Oh God. Arson's already done. Arson's already toast.
Romance novel, fiction, thriller, suspense,
He's looking at
erotic literature.
Yep. I told you again. So, don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
Do you know how to fix a dark romance novel?
What's that?
Do you know how to fix a dark romance novel?
Oh no.
Turn the light on.
Yeah, there it is.
Nice.
So, Arson, did you ask how spicy this was?
No, that was one of the questions here for
okay. Okay, so here's the summary of this book. The Manipulator. I can manipulate the emotions of anyone who lets me. I will make you hurt, make you cry, make you laugh and sigh. But my words don't affect him, especially not when I plead for him to leave. He's always there watching and waiting. And I can never look away. Not when I want him to come closer. The Shadow. I didn't mean to fall in love. But now that I have, I can't stay away. I'm mesmerized by her smile, by her eyes, and the way she moves. The way she undresses. I'll keep watching and waiting until I can make her mine. And once she is, I'll never let her go. Not even when she begs me to.
Interesting.
So this is a stalker romance. So there are going to be lots of spoilers in here. So also
like a beanstalk or cornstalk.
Wow, Zombie's going to come up in here with all the jokes.
That's pretty funny though.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, there's going to be lots of spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything about the books, probably don't listen to this until after you've read them. So basically in Haunting Adeline, Adeline is this author, and she's doing like this book signing, and Zaid sees her and is like, holy shit. Wow. Gorgeous. So then he starts to stalk her, and she's like fucking terrified, as she should be. But then she's also like, why do I kind of like it? And then there's this turning pivotal point in the book where then she's like, yeah, he might be the one for me. so then that romance develops, and then at the end, she gets kidnapped. At the end of the book ends on a cliffhanger of she gets kidnapped. And I'm like, you're fucking joking. You are joking me right now. So that's the very, very quick summarization of said book. Yes. Very spicy.
Spicy.
Very spicy. As are most of my books. Very spicy.
Whoa.
So yeah, so that's Haunting Adeline. And then Hunting Adeline is the second book. I'm not going to go too much into like reading the summarization of the other books, just because you've got kind of a synopsis of what the book is like,
right.
or the universe is like. But essentially, the second book, Hunting Adeline, is Zaid going out of his way, and basically it's like the "I'll destroy the world to find her" trope. And so he's like searching far and wide for her. She's being held underground, like he can't hardly find her. Finally, there's a break. He finds her, and then it's like the healing process of her like coping with the situation she was in her kidnapping.
So is this like an erotic Taken?
I will find you.
I will find you.
I mean, I guess you could say that is the second book. Yeah, I guess.
Minus the daughter part.
Minus the daughter part. Yeah, minus that.
I have a very particular bit of skill.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, you cut out for a second, Arson.
That's so funny.
Give me a memory.
All right, so yeah, on that erotic Taken and
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then part of like that, so that's the duet, that's the main storyline, and then there are two other smaller books that are part of this. And so one is called Satan's Affair, which is there's one scene in Haunting Adeline where she's at like this Halloween horror carnival type thing, and Satan's Affair is everything like that, more detail of what happened during that time frame of the book. So it's a very small, quick read. That was the first book I read by this author, and I was slightly traumatized by it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was a lot. It was foul. Yeah. And I read that one before I read Haunting and Hunting Adeline. So I read kind of the prequel, not prequel to it. And then the other one, which I'm currently reading, is Where's Molly? So this is a spinoff to the books. So I believe it was Hunting Adeline, there's this journal she finds in floorboards, and it's this journal from this girl named Molly. And so she's another girl that had been kidnapped. And so she's like writing out everything like every day, like keeping this journal. And it's just, she hides it in the floorboards, and then she escaped. So now this other book, Where's Molly, which just came out in the last couple months, is all about her story. So it's slightly connected, but it's not the main duo that is the Adeline duet. So I'm working on that one right now. So that's a current read of mine. And then I'll be done with this whole series.
Yeah.
Which will be really nice, but also a little sad. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, when I heard your title of Where's Molly, I thought that was just somebody searching for their drugs.
Oh, well. Damn.
Where's Molly?
It's the sequel to Where's Waldo?
Or Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, that's good.
That was better than but I still like mine about the where do I put my drugs?
Jesus.
But man, that's I feel like she's starting off really soft with us. She's gonna, as she progresses, it's gonna get.
Oh no, that's probably the worst book that I have read. One of the worst. But I'm not giving you the nitty-gritty details.
You know the worst book I've ever read? It was about German sausage. It was the worst.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
It was the bratwurst.
The bratwurst.
Oh my god.
Mein Gott.
Oh gosh. I feel like Florp's gonna be upset he's missing all these puns.
Yeah, probably.
But but guys, let me just say this: if you just now noticed Florp was gone, he's taken a hiatus. We actually let him spend some time with his family finally, and he's going to take he's gonna spend some time with them, and we may
hopefully spread the zombie infection.
Spread the zombie infection.
He definitely didn't escape and is currently being hunted down as we speak.
It's called
Where's Flurp? Man.
Where's Flurp?
Oh God.
Gonna drag him back, kicking and screaming the whole way.
He won't be kicking and screaming. That would require him to be conscious for that.
Welcome to hunting.
we know how Zombie does his hunting.
Oh my God.
All right, so
people are a lot more compliant when they're unconscious.
Oh my gosh. Are you friends with Bill Cosby? I mean, what?
Oh,
do a Bill
God.
Cosby impersonation.
Would you like some pudding pops?
That's what I was going to say, but I can't do it. Bill Cosby impersonation saved my life.
Oh my gosh. Hey. Anyways.
Oh Lordy.
Anyways, sorry. like that's the first thing I thought of when Zombie said that. Like, are you serious? All right, so I do want to know a little bit of the details, so I need you to go into it. Yes, I do. I'm ready for this, okay? Like, I may be blushing, but you can't see it, okay? So
Oh God. Well, what more would you like to know?
Surprise me. I just want you to throw something, an instance in the book on one of them, and let me know about it. Like,
what's a memorable part for you?
What's the most memorable part for you in that series?
Oh God.
It's one of the erotic parts, isn't it?
Did they scream that? Did they scream that in the book?
Oh God.
Confirmed.
The part I always think of is the one that goes viral on TikTok, and I don't know that anyone can handle that because it is such a shock to everyone who reads it.
All right, let's hear it. Let's do it.
Oh God.
We're not going to read this, okay? So this is the only chance you've got to explain this part.
Well, everybody who's on TikTok and Book Talk knows, because it is the viral portion of the book. It is the first sexual encounter that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, he's kept his distance from her. But this is where the turning point is. So basically, he comes in the house while she's in the house at the same time, which has not happened yet. He usually goes into the house when she's not there, or, while she's sleeping, whatever. But no, he chooses this is the time to do it. And she tries to run, and that doesn't pan out for her. And he chases her to the greenhouse, and proceeds to fuck her with his gun.
Oh!
I was not expecting such a raw end.
Wow. Talk about using protection.
That's why I was like, do you want to know?
Was it a long barrel?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just
wasn't. That is not involved in this conversation at all.
Oh my God.
Not him neither.
No, this is not godly at all. So
no, absolutely not.
Well, no. I mean, I guess it depends upon which one you're talking about.
So yeah,
my Lanta.
Yep.
You're right. I wasn't ready for that one.
You were not ready for it. I knew you were not.
I'm still not.
Yep.
I mean, I was ready for it. I just wasn't expecting the absolute blunt delivery. Yeah, he just proceeds to fuck her with a gun.
Yep.
What kind of gun was it again? No.
I'm not Willy Wonka. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
I hate when I'm right. Almost as much as I hate Mondays.
All right, guys, we're bringing back the ad break just for this moment. No, I'm kidding.
Yep. So that's the first book, and that's the worst one that I'm going to tell you about.
Okay, well, it's all up from here.
Exactly. I thought I'd start strong and then,
Yeah.
whittle down to like the rom-coms,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing. I see it.
Yeah. All right, so y'all ready for the next one now?
Hold on, I'm still
Yeah,
trying
man.
to gather my my senses
Don't
for
be
this.
such a coward.
Whew.
Wow. That was
So-
the worst one. It's fine.
Okay, let's do this next.
Okay. So the next one I'm going to talk about has been one of my probably favorites. Just I zoomed through it. I absolutely loved it. I ate the whole fucking book up. It was fantastic.
That sounds uncomfortable. Eating a book.
Yeah.
What if it's electronic?
And I've seen some things where it might be being turned into a movie, which I'm very excited about. So I will be there. I will be at the theater that day. So this book is called Butcher and Blackbird. It as of right now, it does have it has 2 books and a third one on the way. So I haven't read the second one. I've only read the first one. So my quick synopsis of it before reading the official one is essentially it's 2 serial killers that fall in love. It's fucking adorable. It's adorable.
Yes.
I love it.
Murder.
Yes.
A family that kills together thrills together.
Exactly.
They make love in a bath full of the blood of their victims.
No, they don't do that.
It's like that's actually a scene in the book. No.
No, they don't do that. Yeah, no, they don't do that. It's fine.
Yet.
That's in the fan fiction.
Yeah, exactly.
If anybody at all listens to this podcast that has read that book and that does fan fiction, this needs to be created.
Somebody write it down.
I won't read it, but
Lame. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so the official synopsis is when a chance encounter sparks an unlikely bond between rival murderers, Sloane and Rowan, they find something elusive. The friendship of 2 like-minded, pitch-black souls who just happen to enjoy killing other serial killers. So we got some Dexter vibes going on, right? So from small town West Virginia to upscale California, and from downtown Boston to rural Texas, the 2 hunters collide in an annual game of blood and suffering, one that pits them against the most dangerous monsters in the country. But as their friendship develops into something more, the restless ghosts left in their wake are only a few steps behind, ready to claim more than just their newfound love. Can Rowan and Sloane dig themselves out of a game of graves, or have they finally met their match?
Rowan and Sloane, they sound like romance novel characters.
Yeah, so basically, Sloane is the serial killer that they have dubbed the Orb Weaver. And she is called that because she plucks eyeballs out of her victims' heads, and then she creates these very elaborate, like, red string charts, essentially, at the crime scenes to, like, position bodies and everything the way that she wants them to be. So she's called the Orb Weaver. Rowan is called, it's called the Boston Butcher. I had to remember what his name was. It's been a second since I read this book. Hence why half of the book title is called Butcher, because he's the Boston Butcher. So they meet because Sloane is trying to murder someone, and she does in fact murder him, but then gets locked in a cage inadvertently, and she's now stuck in this cage. And then Rowan shows up, and it's like, interesting. So then he lets her out, and then they get into this, like it mentioned, they have this game every year. Once a year, they come together, and this external friend of Rowan's gives them this, like, go to this city, and there's this really bad person here that you have to murder. Whoever kills them first wins the game. So they do this once a year. So for like 2 or 3 years, they only see each other that one time a year. And then eventually and he calls her Blackbird, and it's adorable because she has like really black hair, and Blackbird. And he found her in a cage, so it's like a cute little thing. And then eventually this romance develops, and then they eventually are just together, and they live in the same city and all that jazz. So it's a very cutesy. They murder some people along the way. So it's very cutesy.
cutesy.
Yeah.
Didn't I see this on an episode of Criminal Minds?
Probably.
Based on true events.
So I really enjoyed this book, and it was very good. It does go into some detail, like with some of the murder and stuff, but it doesn't highlight as much of the spice as it does like the murder. So it's a little bit different from my last book, where it focuses on both the murder and the spice, where this one is mostly murder and it sprinkles in some spice. So it's a little bit different. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty good concept.
Yeah. I'm really hoping it becomes a movie, because that would be super, super cool, as long as they do it well. That's the key. Doing it well.
Doing it well. Well,
Yeah.
let's hope Disney doesn't do it.
I mean,
right?
I'm just saying with the trend Hollywood has, they won't. They'll fuck it up.
Yeah, you're right.
Unless it's an indie
You're right.
film. If it's
True.
an indie,
It might be
probably
okay.
awesome.
Why would they film it in Indiana?
They film a lot of stuff in Indiana. Remember the movie Madison?
Yeah, but according to what she said, that doesn't even take place in Indiana. So why would they film it in Indiana?
Well, most of the places don't take place in Vancouver, but everything's shot there as the U.S.
Or like, I mean, I suppose you could also say like India, but that sounds like even further. Like Indiana sounds more sense than like India.
Okay, this pun is going way too far.
Have you met me lately?
Oh my gosh. Yes,
True.
I have. And I adore you either way. So you're my boy. So anyways, but yeah, it really does sound like a pretty good book.
Yeah. Do recommend.
Yeah, it does kind of give Dexter vibes.
Yeah, a little bit.
So
like Dexter's Laboratory vibes? I mean, it doesn't sound that way.
Well, Dexter's Laboratory turned into Dexter, the TV show. I could actually see that. I could see that kid genius scientist turning into a serial killer. Yeah, I could. But anyways.
My laboratory.
Oh God.
But yeah. So on that, yeah, I would definitely watch it if it came out to be a movie, 100%. As long as it wasn't like, I don't know. I feel like they do it pretty tasteful, you know. Depending on.
I mean, they're not cannibals. It can't be tasteful.
I mean, they could give a cannibal approach to it. I don't know. One of the serial killers they killed was a cannibal. I don't know.
Yes.
But anyways. So yeah. All right. So what's the next book on your series or whatever that's on your list?
Yeah, so I'm actually switching the order I'm doing at the moment. I'm like seeing the order I made, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do this one first instead. So this one is called The Pawn and the Puppet. So there are currently four books in this series. I've only read the first 3. I think 3. I got to this book from TikTok, as most of these books are, but this author, no one would publish her book, so she self-published. And so I found her on TikTok before the first book even published. And I just very impatiently waited to get a hold of this book. It's wild. So the very basic summarization is this girl who falls in love with a guy with multiple personalities and is a little bit of a psychopath.
Sounds like that one movie with from M. Night Shyamalan, except without the romance, just the split personality.
Yeah. So here's the summary. The Emerald Lake Asylum is not a place most desire to go. 19-year-old Skylena, however, made a promise that she must keep. Once hired, she only has one purpose: prove to the council that barbaric treatments such as waterboarding, scalding baths, and beatings are no longer the answer. But that all takes pause when she meets the source of terror in the asylum, a patient with a split personality. On one side, he's the bloodthirsty genius, Desson. On the other, a hidden persona that is buried deep in his subconscious. When Desson is caught in an attempted cell break, he faces execution if Skylena can't bring out his core personality and reveal his humanity. She has 90 days to save his life, and the only way to do that is to let him consume her into his world of moves, counter moves, and master puppeteering. With each passing day, their bond deepens, a forbidden attraction forming against her best judgments. Little by little, Skylena uncovers the sinister secrets of his past that turned him into the monster everyone else fears. And Dessen proves to have one weakness despite the terrifying, indestructible persona he presents to the world. Her.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So basically, she has a sister that dies. And her sister worked at this asylum and was doing this whole thing, like trying to protect patients, like trying to like stop all of these dumbass practices, right? And when her sister dies, she decides that she's going to carry on that legacy of I'm going to try and do these things. Then she gets essentially assigned to this patient, Dessen, and it all just kind of like spirals out of control. And going into the additional books, they do escape. They're on the run. She gets captured. He rescues her. He dies. He comes back to life. Like, it's so wild. Like, I finished one book with or no, I don't even think I finished it. It was partway through one of the books is when he died. And I was like, I can't look at this book anymore. How fucking dare they? And then I finally came back to it and I was like, oh, it's okay. Okay, we're okay. Okay. I misunderstood.
Did he come back as a
Turns out
zombie?
Well, no, it was something like he had to take this specific like drug or potion or something, and then right before he was killed, and then so it wasn't actually killing him. I don't remember the exact specifics of it, but it was this very elaborate scheme of like the counter move type thing, because he was like always 5 steps ahead of who they were working against. So
He turned me into a newt. I got better.
Does he just carry this potion on him anywhere he goes? Like, okay, I'm about to die.
well, no, this was like days in advance he had done this, so it was very coordinated and planned and everything.
Just
yeah.
How did he die?
He had 7 days.
He slept on the pavement and busted his knee.
He busted his ass.
Damn. I'm trying to remember. I think they were in a battle on the beach. I remember that. And I think he was like shot or
so natural causes.
Something like that.
Because being shot naturally kills you.
Yeah, true.
Blood is supposed to stay on the inside.
Yeah. It was something like that. Yeah. I'm not very good at retaining the information in books. I love books and I really enjoy them, but then I can't like regurgitate any of the information from it. It's
She's
really
like
bad.
one and done. Like, okay, we're good.
Exactly.
So. I'm sorry. I just have to question these things. Like, you know, if he was killed, in what way was he killed? Because then if he just comes back, then you know, you kind of he was shot. Like, did he get shot in the head, the chest?
Well, so part of this book, it doesn't really like show this, but it's got kind of this fantasy underlying like magic integrate, like there's a lot of stuff going on in this book, so it's not just very generic like regular world type thing. There's some like magic, advanced like magical science type bullshit like I don't know how to describe it, but there's like a lot more to it than just an asylum and just people. Like, it's not a regular world. There's a lot of things going on. Because, like, one of the things he has is there's, like, this, which I don't even remember what it's called, but it's basically like this wolf that is the only living member of its species. I couldn't find my words. It's the only living member of its species, and he is a companion of Dessen, and so, but he's like not just a basic wolf. Like, he's very advanced and complicated and all the things. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, exactly. Sure. So
He's the wolf man.
there's lots and lots of layers to this book, and it just when you think that there's not going to be another new thing, there's another new thing, and it pulls you in all these different directions, and it
Toys
yeah,
with your emotions.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Jeez.
And this
Okay.
this dude doesn't just have two personalities, I'd like to point out. He has a lot. He has a lot of personalities.
He's a cult of personalities. Sorry.
Does he have more personalities than the guy from the M. Night Shyamalan movie?
I have no idea.
I think he had 6 or 7.
Oh yeah, he's got more than that. Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, he's got a lot of personalities.
Freaking zombies down there doing mana.
Yeah.
Completely random.
Look, I'm tired.
He's just over there. He's living his best life.
He is.
I've been up for, let's see, 18 hours.
Oh.
Oof.
So
to be fair, when I asked Zhombi to be a part of the podcast, I can't believe I was so generalized yesterday by saying this like this, but I basically was like, hey, do you want to do some podcasts this weekend? We're not going to have Flurp, so we're thinking about doing 2, something like that. But I didn't.
You didn't even say 2. You just said do a podcast.
Oh well, and I was thinking about doing the second one is what I was thinking, but for some reason I got it all tripped up, and I was like, oh, let me make sure he's in here for this, but yeah, so I was just like completely like just asked him out of the blue. But to be fair, 9 times out of 10 we do our podcasts at the same time on the same day, so that should have at least given a sign to him. But he was very tired yesterday when I asked him this too. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways,
podcast schedule is a rhythm I will never follow.
I mean, to be fair, we record on Saturdays, and
except when we don't,
and if we can't, then we usually do it on Sundays in the afternoon.
I won't have this luxury next week.
Yeah. So, but to speak of that, I'm going to let you guys know something since it's, I know it's the middle of a podcast. I was going to do this at the end, but I'm going to do it now. So we will be taking a break in the month of August. And during August, I am going to be doing some podcasts, and I'm going to label them as shorts. So they're going to be shorter summer podcasts, and they won't air probably till September. But or maybe we'll put it on our Patreon page for the first time ever, and actually use it. So, but yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. I'm going to be doing. It's going to be basically one-on-one with me and somebody else a couple times throughout the month. I think we got one planned for myself and Al that we're going to do. I'm not going to spoil any thing that we're going to do, but let's just say it's about...
You're going to do a podcast.
It's about DC animated movies, but that's as generalized as I'm going to get. It's actually focused on a certain thing, but, that's what we're going. So anyways, yeah, now... I guess that was my ad break. Mm-hmm. Let's get back to Amanda.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the next one. This one's like a funny haha to me. It's very spicy. It's very short. So these are typically like, I don't know, 150 to 250 page books. So not. So I can get one of these done in a day if I'm like reading it the entire day.
Yeah.
There's 21 books in this series, which they're short, which is great. And it's called Ice Planet Barbarians.
Ice Planet Barbarians.
Yes.
Is it Hoth?
It's funny you say that because one of the things in this book is all the women in the book call the planet that they're stranded on not Hoth.
Are you serious? Really?
They do. They do, in fact.
That is so funny.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, it's all these women that are kidnapped from Earth by aliens for human trafficking in the alien realm. And so they're on this ship. Well, the ship crash lands on this ice planet, and so they're now stranded on this planet. We'll come to find out there is aliens on this planet, but they are, what's the phrase I want to use here?
Horny?
Buttholes.
Well, yes, that, but
Oh no.
A horny tauntaun. No, sorry.
It's a Wookiee.
they have a very like prehistoric way of living. Like they don't
Okay.
have technology. They've been literally stranded. They're like they had some kind of ship with some of their species crash land on this planet, and they were never able to leave. And this was like thousands and thousands of years ago. So like
So they
they've just
de-evolved,
continued.
basically.
Correct.
Okay.
And so and so there are very little women on this planet. Like I think when we are introduced to this whole like tribe, there's like 2 women in the entire tribe.
Yeah.
But part of it is they can't reproduce unless they have these like parasites inside of them, and basically the parasites have to like each other. But the parasites are also the only reason they can breathe the air on the planet. Otherwise, they will die. So it's like all these complicated layers to this.
Wow.
But basically, 2 people's parasites have to like each other, or they can't reproduce.
Like, no, sorry, I'm not
And it's
feeling
mostly
it.
yeah, and it's mostly males that are born. So hence why there's not. So now there's like this group of like, I don't know, 12 human women that have crash landed on this planet. And so part of this is like they can't leave the planet now. So they have to kind of get the parasite in their bodies. And each one of these books is like focuses on a different human woman and them finding their barbarian pair.
Mhm.
And this is basically me. The synopsis sucks, so this is me giving you the synopsis.
Yeah.
They're like 7 feet tall aliens. They're very
Dang.
large. They're large.
That's a huge alien.
Yeah.
Are you sure they're aliens? I'm looking at the covers for some of these, and they look like fucking D&D characters. They look like the tieflings.
I like that Arson does his own side homework while I'm talking. I love that.
I mean,
This doesn't look like fucking aliens. There's a reason they call it fucking Ice Planet Barbarians. They're not aliens. They're D&D characters.
So when you said de-evolved, what I pictured was from the original Super Mario Brothers movies when they de-evolve people into Goombas.
No, don't tell me that.
That's why I was laughing so hard, because that's immediately what came to my mind. And I sent Phoenix a picture of the Goomba.
Goombas from the 1990s Mario movie.
he just
that's funny.
I had to mute my mic because I was laughing.
Small head Goombas.
The small head Goombas. Oh
God, that's funny.
They do look like they're like demons or like something.
Yeah, they look more like demons than aliens.
Yeah. I love these. They're so short, and that's why part of why I love them so much is because I can get them done in a couple days.
Zhombi.
They're quick reads. Oh Jesus Christ! My God!
Just so you guys know, Zhombi posted a picture of the Goombas from the Super Mario Brothers movie in our channel, and literally, he's here to cause chaos.
For the rest of the podcast.
That's so funny.
You can scroll up.
It's not the same.
But yeah, that's essentially the books. So each book just kind of builds on each other, but also that focuses on different people. So they can be standalone reads, but also if you read like the 8th book, there's going to be some things that probably you're not going to catch on to because you've not read the first 7. So yeah.
Ruby Dixon is the name of that, and I was thinking something else when I was looking at it, like rub your dicks on.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure she's a great author, but that's the covers. See, the covers really, I gravitate to covers. You know, like if
the
if I
covers
see
really tell you what you're going to get into.
right, and there is no way in any hell whatsoever I would read these books, even if they are amazing, and they may be amazing, like they may be a short read, but I just couldn't do it. Like the covers,
it's a short read, primarily focused on the sex. So
no, yeah. So okay, I'll just yeah,
it's not for you, and
it's
that's okay.
definitely not for me, but
it's okay.
you know, but anyway, so yeah. All right, what else do we got on this
You
list?
signed up for this. I just want to remind you.
I did, and I was part of the planning of the topic. So,
Yep.
you know, I don't know. I can't remember if Arson just put me on there just to make it look like I'm, you know, a part of it because, you know, he didn't want to take all the blame for this.
Mhm.
But or if I actually did was like, oh yeah, we should do this. But
It was supposed to be a spoof,
It
but we
was.
turned it into an actual topic.
It was supposed to be a spoof. It was, but
What,
Amanda was
this?
like, "Yeah." So it even says
cute.
it next to it. So like, start off talking about this stuff and then move on to other things. But
I was thinking, yeah, we actually talk about it, but then it just like derails. But surprisingly, we're on mostly good behavior.
Yeah,
mostly
I'm
because
shocked.
Phoenix is in shock.
Yeah, Phoenix is learning
doing
things about
side
me he
homework,
didn't want to know.
and still don't
Zhombi
want to
is
know.
being zombie.
I'm gonna need therapy.
Well, that's very unfortunate for you.
That feels like an overreaction.
He's very dramatic.
Coward.
Look, you want to know what my favorite book is? Okay, I have two of them that I really love, and the first one is The Outsiders.
All right.
Oh, and the second one is a book by John. Oh my gosh, zombie. The second one is a book by John Grisham, and it's called Surviving Christmas. And you may know it better by Christmas with the Cranks. And it is an absolutely great book. I like the book a lot better than the movie. The movie stands pretty true to form, but you know, those are my books. Besides that, it's the Bible. So you know,
yeah.
But
I'm reading these books don't go on the same shelf as the Bible.
These books aren't near to the same store as the Bible.
Funny enough, there was one book I read called Priest. I hated it. It's not on this list because I hated it.
Okay, but I bet it was
very
kinky
spicy.
too.
Oh, it sure was. Yep,
Yeah.
It was very spicy.
See, I figured that was coming.
It was very spicy, but I hated it. So.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so I think we have time for like what, maybe one or two books, depending on.
I was about to say I have 4 more. How many do I have? How many can I do?
Let's do 2.
Okay. You know, I think I'm going to do the 2 books that I have on this list by the author that was my gateway drug to spice.
Okay.
So it's 2 books by Colleen Hoover. I lovingly call her Coho for short. So the first one I read of her books was It Ends With Us. It's coming to theaters August 9th, and I'm so excited. I'm so fucking excited. It was so good. So basically, what?
I'm just looking. It Ends With Us. It Starts With Us. Ugly Love.
Oh yeah, yeah. So this one's not. I would say Colleen Hoover's books aren't spicy. It does kind of what we call the fade to black kind of romance a little bit. So it implies, but it doesn't give you the nitty gritty details.
It's the Phoenix proof.
Yeah. So I will say that the Colleen Hoover books do take more of a realistic tone to their stories. So like It Ends With Us, a lot of the focus of this book is domestic violence. So it does come with some warnings for some folks. But basically It Ends With Us is Lily Bloom meets this guy on a rooftop. His name is Ryle. He's this like top performing surgeon, all this good stuff. And they start this like romance, and they're having a great time. And then it takes a very dark turn, and some domestic violence things start happening. And then she goes to this restaurant, and she runs into Atlas, who is her like childhood love that she never saw again. Like he just disappeared off the map. So then Ryle gets jealous. The domestic violence starts escalating, and then the book essentially ends with her leaving Ryle, thankfully, and getting with Atlas. And then the follow-up to that book is It Starts With Us, which is her romance with Atlas resurfacing, reigniting, all of that stuff. So It Starts With Us focuses on all of the good things of the story, which is getting with Atlas and all of that, where It Ends With Us kind of focuses on that topic of, which in the movie trailers it says, what is the exact phrasing? It's like we can either continue with the cycle or break the cycle, essentially, is what it's getting at. And so the whole premise of the book is like breaking the cycle of like the domestic violence type stuff. So with this book, like I said, I always say it comes with like a warning to folks that maybe that might be a touchy subject for them. So, but it was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. It has a lot of character growth and development, and yeah.
On a serious note, I think everybody should be very well versed on the subject of domestic violence and stuff like that, because that there should be no reason for it. I'm pretty big on believing that if on either side of it, like man or woman, there should be no like domestic violence. Why like, and that's physical or mental. You know, I mean, if you guys can't get along, then just I don't know what to tell you. Leave, you know, and I know people are in different sorts of situations and stuff like that where they just can't up and leave, but man, I tell you, it hits close to home with me for some instances in my life, according to like family or friends. You know what I mean? So yeah, just so yeah, that kind of triggered something to me when you were talking about it, the domestic violence part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's definitely not a light read. It focuses more on kind of like I said, the romantic character growth, character development, not really the spice. So it's a little bit different. Okay. But it's a really good book.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And that's you look, this is all about Amanda today, so it's her opinion is the only thing that matters.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
And so that leads us to your last choice.
Yeah.
You're eeny, meeny, miny, mowing it.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. So how about this? You choose the one that you want to talk about, and the last two will make a quick little reference to them.
Okay.
And then like just a real quick one though. So and
okay.
Then we'll.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay. So the other one is also a Colleen Hoover book. So this one is called Verity. So I'm gonna read the synopsis on this one, and then I'll go into a little bit more.
Yeah, I saw that sitting there. So it was written 2 years after It Ends With Us. So go ahead.
Yes. Colleen Hoover has a lot of books. I've read a lot of them. But,
yeah, I see.
Yeah. So Verity is so Lowen Ashley is a struggling writer on the brink of financial ruin when she accepts the job offer of a lifetime. Jeremy Crawford, husband of best-selling author Verity Crawford, has hired Lowen to complete the remaining books in a successful series his injured wife is unable to finish. Lowen arrives at the Crawford home ready to sort through years of Verity's notes and outlines, hoping to find enough material to get her started. When Lowen doesn't expect to uncover what Lowen doesn't expect to uncover is in the chaotic office is an unfinished autobiography Verity never intended for anyone to read. Page after page of bone-chilling admissions, including Verity's recollection of the night her family was forever altered. Lowen decides to keep the manuscript hidden from Jeremy, knowing its contents could devastate the already grieving father. But as Lowen's feelings for Jeremy begin to intensify, she recognizes all the ways she could benefit if he were to read his wife's words. After all, no matter how devoted Jeremy is to his injured wife, a truth this horrifying would make it impossible for him to continue loving her. So essentially, you have this struggling author who, the husband of this successful author, has decided to finish her book series. So she was in this car accident. She's like bedridden. She can't speak. Like she's just there. So Lowen moves to their house to like sort through the office, get the notes, like trying to get a grasp on maybe what some plans were for future books. She finds this document. This is all this outline. So one of their, I think it was just one of their children drowned in their lake.
Mm-hmm.
And so after this has happened is when she gets in the car accident. So this whole like manuscript is basically her talking about like how much she hates like her family, hates her kids, and it's just like painting her to be this horrendous individual. And so Lowen also starts falling for the dad, for Jeremy. And so then so she finally shows him the thing. And well, lo and behold, at the end of the story, when she does finally finish it, because she tells him about this before she finishes the fucking autobiography, she goes, this is a work of fiction. Like the end of the thing is like, this is a work of fiction, and me kind of trying to get into the mindset of the character of my book.
Mm-hmm.
This is after Jeremy has killed Verity. They smothered her in her bed with a pillow.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So it's more on the suspense side, which I also really like thrillers and suspense books. Mm-hmm. So it was more so on that side, which was pretty cool. So it's a very heavy book for all of those aspects.
Right. That is a pretty cool synopsis.
Colleen Hoover writes very emotional books. I will give her a lot of credit for that. They are extremely emotional books. Mm-hmm. So
makes you wonder how personal they are, and
right,
because they got to have a muse for it of some sort, just don't.
Yeah.
So I wonder where that comes from.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe we can get her on the podcast one day and ask her.
Oh, sure.
Next up,
it's not like a
from the
fucking
ashes.
dick or anything, but these past 2 choices or so, I've just been looking at the contents and themes, and I've just been checking them off like a box whenever Amanda mentions something about the book. So, graphic violence, psychological and emotional distress, mental health themes, moral and ethical dilemmas, infidelity, manipulation and deception, child harm and death. I'm just like, yep, that's happened. She's mentioned that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yes, of course.
Yeah. So see, I'm kind of telling you the trigger warning list. So kind of. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. So before we end, let's hear your
honorable mentions.
Your honorable mentions. Just if anybody would like to look these up, she's gonna tell you what they are.
Yes. So I have The Never King, which is a adult spicy retelling of Peter Pan. 10 out of 10. Do recommend.
Wow. I'm really sad you didn't choose that one.
I know, I was back and forth on it, but it's fine.
But that'll cause me to look it up. The Never King?
The Never King.
Okay.
Yes.
And what's your last one?
And then It Happened One Summer. This one is more of a rom-com by Tessa Bailey. It's a duet. It's so funny. It's basically this rich girl that moves to a fishing town and falls in love with a crab fisherman. It's very cute. Yep. And then I will say another one that I didn't mention was Does It Hurt by H.G. Carlton. It's the same lady that wrote Haunting Adeline. I skipped that one earlier, but that one's pretty rough too. So.
All right. So real quick before we end, I know everybody has a favorite book. What's your favorite book, Amanda?
Oh God.
Just you got to fire it.
I don't know.
There's not one book that just like sits with you like, wow, this was my forever book.
I don't know.
What about you,
I've
Zhombi?
I've read so many good books.
What about you, Zhombi? We'll come back to you here in a second. Just think for a second.
Hey, hell, I don't know.
See?
I've never heard of that book.
Okay, you are asking me at the wrong time of day.
Not valid.
What, all right, so let's just drop that question unless Arson has an answer.
Of what?
Of what is your favorite book?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Captain Underpants in the Attack of the Talking Toilets.
Oh, there you go. Man.
Love that.
I know the
Now
toilet
here's a
talks every
question
time
for
Zombies on it.
Amanda.
No.
If you were to make
I talk to
Phoenix
it.
read one of these books and he couldn't refuse,
Oh.
which one would it be?
You know it'd be the first one. You know
No,
it would.
I don't want to traumatize. I think I would probably make him read Ice Planet Barbarian. I'm not gonna lie.
I think
I'm
I'd
not even
rather
gonna
read
lie.
the first one.
I think it would be that one. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Interesting.
Because it's just enough that it won't traumatize him, but also because dark romance can be traumatizing, and Haunting Adeline is not the first dark romance you should read.
Yeah.
But also it's enough that it will disturb him.
Well, that's disturbing in itself, right there.
Ice
Probably
Planet
opening Pandora's box. What if he actually likes it?
I would love that. Yeah, final answer: Ice Planet Barbarians.
Freaking.
Well, there you go, Phoenix.
And after I start reading, I'd be like, Amanda, we got to start a book club. Hurry.
Oh god, that would be funny.
I don't see that happening though, but you never know. Maybe one day I'll read it just to humor her. But if I do, then it's going to be a one-on-one podcast with me and Amanda explaining the book completely in detail.
Oh.
So
yeah, so basically I couldn't get through the first chapter.
But yeah, on that note, guys, I want to thank Amanda for giving us all those wonderful choices. I love it when we can do stuff that where I'm not having to talk the most, and I felt like I was thrown under the bus with the Mason episode, which is fine because I love talking about my boy. But this time it was all Amanda. I was glad.
If anybody wants any book recs, feel free to hit up our socials, and I'll be sure to drop some recs.
Yeah, and that definitely will happen. If you want any type of that, that our socials will be in the description. So just click that link and it'll go there, and that'll meet all your From the Ashes podcast needs. Go ahead, Arson, say it.
Something shameless Phoenix plugin.
Well, good enough. Arson and I are coming up with something that we're gonna need both teams a part of. So I told him, I said we're gonna probably do that in not August, in September. But we're actually gonna make. Should I go ahead and say it, Arson, or should I just keep quiet about it?
Better settle up, ladies and gentlemen, because Arson's wacky game show is going to become a reality. Mark your calendars for September.
The whole September.
The wild ride.
All of September.
All of September.
Nope.
So the premise behind this is it's going to be Zombie and Al versus Amanda and Flirp. And I'm going to be like the prize announcer and helper of Arson. And Arson's going to be the game show host. And it's going to be interesting. We're going to see how well you know our podcast.
You do your homework.
Yep. So on that note, wait for that. It'll be in September, and it's going to be exciting. Maybe we could do that. Oh, that'd be cool to do a live one of those, like a video. Without Arson, because Arson says he's too beautiful to be seen. So but on that note, guys,
like a cardboard cutout of just a guy, a mannequin. I don't know, just something. Just put a top hat on him and then just call it a day.
Just put John smoking a pipe.
But anyways, yeah, we're you're using up more episode time, Phoenix. Let's
I am. Hey, that you used up the extra stuff from the date, so I mean, I'm just saying. But anyways,
using it up again.
Yes, I am. But anyways, guys, I want to thank you guys for all being here. I appreciate if you've made it through this whole episode. That means you really enjoy listening to Amanda talk. So, and we all loved it too. I can't speak for everybody, but I liked hearing her choices, and when she's passionate about something, she gets really giddy and stuff, and she was really loving it. You could tell.
I was the one doing side homework. You were the one who sounded uncomfortable.
I mean, I was uncomfortable.
For a
But
majority of the choices, at least.
I mean, I was uncomfortable, but still, I mean, I'm supporting my friend, okay? And her choices.
I'll send you my Goodreads link so that way you can see all of my book choices.
Oh, yeah,
Lord.
I can't wait. It's like 54 pages long. But
I don't think it's that long, but
she says I don't think it's that long. But anyways, guys, on that note, we are done with this week. I hope you have enjoyed it. Have a great week. And again, check out our link in the description if you want to know more about us and our podcast. You guys have a great week.
931 books.
931 books.
Don't forget to read the sequel to The Talking Toilets in Captain Underpants and the Invasion of the Incredibly Naughty Cafeteria Ladies from Outer Space.
All right. Well, that's good to know. I'm waiting for the movie. So
only available at your local book fair.
All right. All right, guys, have a great week. We're out of here.